Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. This morning, Friday, happy Friday by the way, we're going to take a look at what we did yesterday. Scarred him up a little bit, nothing bad. Thing is a beast, absolute beast. Take a look there. That's a 4300 kV Goul RC. Awesome motors, awesome manufacturer for a very reasonable price. I happen to be using the Spectrum BLX 100 just because it was available. It was the one that I had, the controller from Goul. It didn't want to fit in here exactly, so I used that one. And on 2S yesterday afternoon, I got about, I'm going to say 45 to 50 out of it before it caught air and skidded for about 150 feet on the top. But that is an awesome body. But now, to fix the Rhino. Yesterday, after we ran out of film, I was jumping the Rhino. Hadn't adjusted the shocks back to really stiff for rock racing style. Packed it really hard. Blew out the servo. Contacted Amazon. Boom. Here this morning, 7 a.m. Can't beat that. By the way, this is an excellent product. I'm going to leave a link to it in the description below. It's a Zosuke 35 kg. These suckers have plenty of power. I've got one over there in the infraction. I've got one up there in the RR10 bomber. And another one packed into this, the Deadpool. So these things are great. So in a minute here, as you can tell, extracted the old one yesterday. Pulled out the receiver box. I used an RR10 receiver box, a mountain horn for the HR skid plate. Turned out excellent. It's a perfect place to mount this because this frame, though it is a super tough steel frame that I ordered online, it's not available anymore. So I'm going to start creating these myself. Next few weeks I'll be putting out the first copies of, not copy of this, but my own version of the bomber chassis. It just didn't have a place to mount the receiver correctly. After packing a massive Spectrum 4S motor in there, there wasn't much room on the skid plate for anything else. So we're going to flip this bad boy over. We're going to get into it. 1 minute. All right, I'm back. Just wanted to make sure I had all the things ready to go. Here we go. Simple, basic. We just pop our servo into our number 1 slot. And it's just kind of hard seeing here because of the shadow created by the backlighting, but there we go. So let's pop him in there. Run our cord out. clean our receiver lid and make sure that gasket is nice and clean. That'll certainly help in the long run. Tuck your wires back into there, which I have to kind of do once I get back into here. So I'm going to pause for 1 second, not bore you. All right, now we got our wires tucked in here nice and clean. Screws back in. Tighten up the last one here. All right, so the next thing we want to do is we want to reverse it, put it back right side up. Put this guy in here temporarily like so that the receiver is basically sitting right side up and it acknowledges everything correctly. And test our new little servo in there. I hooked up the battery. Grab our controller over here. Power up our controller. Okay, don't know what's going on there. All right, we have a technical malfunction, folks. One moment. All right, so as I was saying, you got to have your receiver really perfectly flat. So make sure that you're doing that before you test your servo. Right? Make sure that your receiver is back in, installed in its correct position, as in wherever it's placed in your own rod, and then you can check to make sure that things are correct. For some reason here I'm still not having an acknowledgement. There we go. Now we're level. And so get that thing perfectly level, or as good as you can, before you test it. Now we'll shut them back off. Power down the remote. Disconnect the battery connections, flip them back over. I'll be right back. Alright, so we're back. I wanted to get 2 new screws to put in. Tend to like using new screws each time I replace. If I can. If not, then, you know, that's that. So now we're going to screw the receiver mount and case into place. The screws right here on the front side of your HR skid plate on. This is made for the axial RR10. So this is an exceptional piece here. It's been, as you can tell, well used, along with the links. They have been ground and pounded. So I'm not going to bore you with the install. 3 minutes and we'll be right back. All right, we're back. Back up, right side up. We're gonna pop in our servo. He's all wired up. Tuck our wire in here. We're gonna connect that to the top of our hot racing link. We need to use our old servo horn because I had to grind down the servo horn here for clearance. So 2 shakes of lamb's tail, and we're back. Okay, well, that was more than 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. It was probably like 15 to 20, but we're all installed. All I need to do is give this little wire in here a zip tie right over in there, but we're going to test her right now. Turn on our controller. Power up our car. Ooh, we're back in business. All right, so later on today, I'm going to take this guy out. I'm going to take the Deadpool out. Gravedigger again. We're going to get some video of this way wicked infraction here. And I'm going to go into the build on that one. And we're later on going to do an extreme build on this. This truck right now currently does about 115 with success. With the gearing. And I'd like to get 150 mile an hour driver out of it and turn it into either a Porsche 917 body or the El Camino 69 Mule that I saw. So those are a couple different concepts I've got going on that guy there. And why don't you guys tell me what you think? We've got a 2S, 3S going in this Yeti Junior for my granddaughter. I made a custom set of lights up there for it. There's a little quick look inside our little Yeti Junior. These guys are pretty trick, by the way. This is a very, very dope little ride. What we've got in here is a Ghoul 25 amp ESC. We're using a Spectrum, or not, right now I was testing it with a Tactic controller. That's a Ghoul 7230 kV motor. This thing is absolutely going to burn the tires right off of this baby. So we're going to get into that build when I get the new servo. The last servo I got was completely cooked on delivery. It was frozen up. So that was that. Pretty soon we're going to be taking out our trophy car, Daddy's Little Monster, and giving you guys a rundown and a shakedown on that bad boy. But later on, we're going to be doing the finish up of some videos that I did down at the creek. Found some really cool spots. We're going to skate down there on the longboard, do a little video on that as well. Why don't we show you guys? That's my adorable daughter when she was a baby. Hey, so this is my Santa Cruz longboard. It has a Vibride disc brake kit on it and Vibride wheels, because they come with the kit. The foot stomp I made myself. It's an extension. It usually comes with a little carbon fiber one, but that was not shipped to me. So we'll be doing a review on that as well when we skate down there. Alright, so for now, from the building table, this is me, Pops. Enough said. I'm out.